Hello, my name is Ryan Leonard. I'm going to be presenting to you my semester project, which was called Money Matters. It is a financial educational application that I've developed, over the course of the semester. A little bit of background before I get started on showing you what I've developed. The reason I chose to do this is I was graduating high school in 2008. I was going into college trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And due to the fact I was graduating in 2008, I witnessed firsthand the financial collapse and the economic downfall that occurred. Um, Frankly, for a number of reasons, but a big reason of which was it seemed that Americans did not have a solid foundational understanding of some simple economic and financial principles that perhaps had they had a better understanding of those things, it may not have led to the situation we saw where people were taking out mortgages they couldn't afford, and quite frankly, overextending their credit, etc., etc. Now, granted, the root of that problem has a lot of issues surrounding it. It's not everyone's fault necessarily. Banks were to be blamed, and there's a number of things that were involved with that. But the underlying issue I saw was that we just simply didn't have a lot of the financial education that we should have had. I say we being me as a young adult, adults at the time, and even teenagers growing up today don't seem to have that in their lives. I know when I was going through school, although we were taught some of the things such as ancient Roman history and sewing and all of these various somewhat random topics that you're taught when you're young. Even all through high school, I cannot remember very many courses on economic foundations, such as how to do things like taxes or 401ks, or what are some of the tips to how to buy a car your first time, or how to buy a home even, which is a much larger financial purchase. Some of the things that we as Americans do throughout our lives that are really big financial decisions, they simply weren't covered when I was young, and still don't seem to be covered today. A lot of my research showed that the same issues we were experiencing previously with lack of financial education in America still seems prevalent today. There's a lot of research and statistics that show that adults and young adults today still don't have that education in their life. In fact, most want to be educated, but there's not a lot of resources devoted to it, at least not in a easily accessible, way that young adults and young people will want to engage with. So my semester project was to develop a financial educational mobile application. Mobile was my choice because everything it seems today is going through mobile technology. People are using laptops and tablets less and less, maybe not so much tablets, but laptops less and less, and desktops, and everything's transitioning to mobile development. So I decided to go with that route for the delivery of the content. And then the other part of it, of course, was the content of actually what topics to cover, and how to present them effectively. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the application. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to run the application in an emulation here. So this will emulate my phone, which is a Pixel XL, and it will emulate the phone on the screen here, as if it was running on any phone you can choose from. In fact, right here, see the preview we have is a Nexus, but there's a number of phones you can choose from that if you wanted to, you can emulate on. I'm going to go with the Pixel because that's my phone. But we'll go ahead and, oops, sorry. There we go. Looks like we're running into a little issue here. And here's one of the problems that I experience with Android Studio. So what's interesting is I was going to show you this later actually, but I think it's good to keep in the video because I think it's a good teaching point, is that Android Studio, at least in my experience, both on my laptop and my desktop, has had some issues that has been really frustrating to deal with. And I don't know if it's a corrupt installation or what. I've tried reinstalling the program a number of times, but